Hello, everyone. Welcome, and I hope you're all having a wonderful day today. I have Spellbinders October card kit of the month on my desk, and I'm going to be creating a few cards with this. The kit is called You Are Stellar. So let's open this up and see what is inside. I love this part. I like to take the whole thing out of the box, and then I can just pull out the tissue paper. I'm already loving the color palette of this kit. Here is the kit contents page, and it gives you some examples of cards that they made. And on the flip side, you get a look at the dies that are included in the kit. This month, the kit includes a lot of stickers. These are some nice epoxy stickers that have the star signs for each month. And then this little pack of stickers has a lot inside it. Let me pull this out and show you. There are so many sentiment stickers and stamps and ephemera shapes included in this kit. You're going to be covered for quite some time. But I love the big, bold sentiments of some of these stickers. Here's the pack of the die-cut shapes, and then you always get some foam tape and some double-sided adhesive, but I couldn't find mine. I find it here in just a minute. There's the dies. You get a pack of iridescent white sequins and 10 card bases and 10 envelopes, and that's where I found my double-sided adhesive. They always put that in every kit. And then the paper pad is one of my favorite things from these Spellbinders kits because it's always so gorgeous. And you get 2 of each design, and it's single-sided. I'll flip through this so you can get an idea of how pretty this paper is. I love that one with the purples and the blues. There's a lot of gold foiling going on in this pad. And it is kind of lightweight, so it's great for layering. And then you get lots of pretty florals too, and I love my floral die-cut shapes as well as pattern paper. And then it just repeats again. Here's the stamp set, and you get a lot of beautiful sentiments in this, and I just love those hands that are kind of tossing the stars. I love the sentiment at the bottom that says, "Be bright, be happy, be you." Then you get some puffy stickers. These are gold foiled stickers. And now for the cardstock. You always get 9 sheets. And these are just really soft, dreamy colors this time. I love all of the pinks and purples and blues. You also get, well, one of the 9 is a double-sided mirror gold cardstock. Now let's open up these dies. This time it cuts out a really pretty frame. And this background die here cuts out lots of tiny stars. And then you get the sentiment that says "Shine On." This piece is a moon, and you can have it full or a sliver of a moon, and you get some stars. Let's pick this up with my Spellbinders diamond. I like to store it on the diamond so I don't lose them. And now I'm going to show you the die-cut shapes. There's always so many. I have to speed this up for the sake of time, but you get 2 of each. And I'm just kind of going to flip through these really quickly. But as I said, you get so many sentiments this time. And some really pretty pastel florals. You get lots of stars and hearts. You even get some Pegasus horses. This just kind of gives you an idea of what's included. So let's get into card number 1. I was so excited to play with this kit. I'm going to use my very favorite piece of pattern paper. I love that text block pattern paper. I'm hoping that they'll do this in the birthday theme and a thank you theme. This theme is all positive affirmations. It says things like, "You're a star, good things, hello darling, believe in magic." But I love it so much that I hope they come back with a thank you and a birthday that looks just like that. It's so stunning. I cut out 2 frames, one with white and one with pink, just to give this a little bit of dimension. And then I'm going to pop this up with some foam strips. Now I took off the release paper so that I could kind of mold it around this frame, and it works out just great. Just have to bully it a little bit in place. But it's just the right size so that you don't see it from the front of this. I'm going to need 2 strips to do this. And I love these pre-cut strips. I'll link to them in my description box below. But this saves a lot of time, so you don't have to cut these out. I'm going to pop this up in the middle of my card. And I'm going to build a little floral scene. I love doing this on my Spellbinders card kits because they always have gorgeous florals. And I really like the white frame. The pop of white is nice. And then you see the little pink dots around it from the pink cardstock. To make the flowers stand out a little bit, I'm using some vintage photo just around the edges. This will help differentiate this die-cut shape from the white of the frame. And then I'm going to pop this up with some foam pieces. I'll tuck this in the side of the frame. And with my foam pieces, I don't like to completely cover the back of this because I want to do a lot of tucking with the leaves for it. So let's start adding the leaves. I'm going to glue them down with some liquid adhesive. Now I can just start tucking all of these leaves. I needed a foam piece behind this one. And just filling out this bouquet. These leaves look like feathers, and I'm sure you could use them as feathers. Maybe they are feathers, but I'm using them as leaves for this bouquet. I didn't add any vintage photo to these. I thought they stood out pretty well on their own. I'm going to glue on this last little blue flower, but I am going to use some vintage photo on it. And then just glue it on the side of the frame. So the sentiment comes from one of the sticker packs, and it says, "Love always." This is going to be a note card for any occasion. But I wanted to back this sentiment with some pink just to make it stand out a little bit more. I'm using some glue to make sure it stays in place. And then I'll use my Spellbinders scissors just to cut a thin border around this sentiment. It's nice having a few non-occasion cards in your stash just so that you can grab it and mail it out in a hurry. I'm going to pop up the sentiment with a foam square and just tuck it behind the flowers. So let's add this to one of the pre-made card bases. I love having pre-made card bases. It saves me so much time. I can just glue this on. And then I'm going to add some of the white sequins, just 3 of them, around my bouquet. For all of my cards today, I do end up decorating the insides. And here's a close-up look at card number 1. Don't you just love that pattern paper? Here's a peek at the inside. On card number 2, I'm going to use the frame again. I use it a lot on these cards. It's so pretty. I love the shape of it. But this is a piece of vellum, and I'm just gluing around the edges so I can add a gold frame to it. I used a piece of the star pattern paper. I'm going to set this down for a minute with an acrylic block to keep it flat and let it dry. The sentiment is a die-cut shape. It's so pretty. It says, "Make a wish." This is going to be a birthday card. I'm going to glue it right in the center of the frame using a little bit of liquid glue. I'm just putting the glue where you won't see it through the vellum. I can just kind of smear that down, and then the sentiment will go right over it. I put a mat around it with some of the purple cardstock. This one's really fun because I'm going to have lots of little elements that I'm building on the front of this card. What do they call them? A collage card. So I have The first sentiment says, best day in the universe, and then it says, happy birthday. I like this little piece with the moons, the waning and waxing moons. And then I cut out some stars using the dies from the kit out of the gold foil or gold mirror cardstock. And I'm going to glue a bunch of these just diagonally down the card. These will be in place of any sequins. I'm going to make a whole set of cards using the epoxy stickers, zodiac signs, make up a whole set of birthday cards. I think that would be so much fun. So here's a close-up look at the finished card. So much shine going on there. And then on the inside, I just used another sticker and a die-cut shape heart. Now on to card number 3, and this is going to be a really fast and easy baby card. So I used some purple cardstock and I cut it slightly smaller than my white card base. I love this soft pink star panel, and I'm going to put that down next. And then this is a die cut shape, and I cut out a gold circle with the mirror cardstock. And then I love these stickers that say little star. I'm going to have this design just going diagonally down this card. So I'll put the star in place, the star sentiment in place first, and then the little. And then I'll know where to put the circle sentiment. And I'm going to glue this down flat. And then I'm going to add a lot of colorful stars and hearts of all shapes and sizes just diagonally around the sentiments. And I'm just going to glue these down flat. I don't have very many baby cards in my stash right now, so this one will come in handy. I might just have to make up another baby card while I have all of my kit contents out. A lot of the pattern papers from this kit would be perfect for creating more baby cards. They're just so soft and pretty. I'm going all out with the stars and hearts here. Just wanted it to be really sparkly with some gold pieces. And then I liked the purples and the pinks on this card. So here it is, all done. And on the inside, I did find a sentiment that says congratulations. And I put that kind of at the bottom, and then I put a die cut shape that says dream and a moon die cut shape. Card number 4, I'm going to bust out the stamp set. I love these pretty hands that are tossing the stars. So I'm going to stamp this up with some Copic-friendly ink. I put it in my Mini Misty so that I could stamp it up at least twice. I'm just finding my ink here. I keep all of my ink on my desk next to my computer monitor. And I only show one stamping, but I do stamp this up twice. But the lines on this are so delicate and thin. I love it. I'm going to pull out a few Copic markers. So first I'll color in the hands. I'm starting with my lightest Copic marker, and then I'll build up the shading with some darker markers. I love how there's little stars in the palms of these hands. It's so pretty. I'm just using 3 different Copic markers on the skin, and then I'll bring in 2 pinks to paint in the thumbnails. And then the stars I'm going to paint in yellow. So I'm starting with my lightest yellow first, and I'm just taking it right to the fingertips. I did go ahead and fussy cut it out, but I changed my mind later and stamp it again and do all of this over again. But the coloring is the same. So then I go in with a little bit of a darker color, and then my very darkest color is going to be at the very tips of her fingers. And then I'll go in with my medium color and just kind of blend that out. It's going to be a gradation of color. And then I'll go in with my lightest color. I really love this piece of purple and blue pattern paper. I'm going to use that, and it's going to go right to the edge of my card base. I'm putting the dark blue at the top so that I can put my sentiment there, which is white, and it'll help to make it pop better. So I cut out a frame, a square frame, using some Spellbinders rectangle dies and some of the blue cardstock. I popped it up with foam tape. I'm going to center this, well, it's going to be more at the bottom of the card. The sentiment says, "You are magical," and I'm going to have this be a birthday card. We'll just press that into place. I'm going to glue the sentiment across the corner of this frame. And then this is where I decide to stamp out the panel again into a rectangle and just glue it over what's already there. So I'm using some little foam squares so that it won't sink down at the sides. I want it to be all the same height. And I'm going to add a little bit of liquid adhesive over the first set of hands. And I can just tuck this in the center of my frame. This card goes through a lot of renditions. So you'll see that that bow disappears here and turns into a pink bow. So I'll put the second sentiment right over the top. And then I put a piece of gold cardstock behind the sentiment at the bottom that says, "You are all kinds of amazing." And I added some of the puffy sticker stars. I think I really want to change that pink bow into a gold metallic bow. I don't have any thin gold string or ribbon in my stash, so I might have to go to Hobby Lobby or something today. On my last card, I'm going all out with the florals. The pattern paper is floral, and it's such a pretty one. I'm going to mat that with a piece of the soft pink cardstock. And then I'll attach this to the white card base. I already cut out another frame with some of the navy blue cardstock. And then the piece of paper you see inside the navy blue frame is also a pattern paper. I thought that would be perfect to stamp a sentiment on. So I'm going to pull out one of the sentiment stamps. This one says, "There's nothing little about the light you shine," and I just love that sentiment. I'll ink it up with some VersaFine Onyx black ink, and then stamp it right in the center of this diagonal striped paper. I kind of press it into it and let it sit for a minute so that it can soak in. Now let's glue on the frame. This is just going to be a one-layer frame, and I'll just add a little bit of liquid glue around the edges. I do cut out the frame again with some heavyweight white cardstock because I want to pop this up, and I wanted to give it more structure. And I will glue that on with just a little bit of dot liner, or a lot of dot liner. Let's attach that, and then I'm going to flip it over and add some foam pieces behind this. I have a lot of leftover foam squares from previous kits, so I'm just going to use that up. Next, I'm going to pull out some stickers. I wanted some stickers with some leaves attached to them, so I'm going to put one at the top and one at the bottom. I'll use this banner at the top, and it says "Warm Hugs." And then to add a little bit of shine, I'm bringing in some green gems from Spellbinders. I'm just going to use 3 different sizes around the sentiment. I love the little bit of sparkle that this brings. And here's a close-up look at card number 5. I hope you enjoyed this video and were inspired. Thanks so much for watching. I'll have all of the links to these products listed in the description box below. Have a wonderful crafty day, everyone. Bye. bye.